very supportive websites. They give you a lot of advice on how to make the most of your shopfront with them. You can tell Etsy's the more sophisticated outfit, as it were. It's much larger. You probably, I have to also do feel a little bit more lost as a seller in there, but their shop dashboard, as it were, the control panel that you can use, is very sophisticated. It allows you to meta text, keyword tag up to 13 material descriptions and up to 13 descriptions for your product, which gives it a really good chance of being found in Google. Equally, the whole process is very straightforward, it's very intuitive, very self-explanatory, and I didn't have any problems loading up to their site. And the shop fronts look good. The only issue is creating a banner in a very small, taking one of your designs, I think it needs to be 760 by 100. That's a really thin line, so there's a lot of fiddling in Photoshop. But again, if you go to their advice pages, there are lots of sellers who have put on tutorials. This is how we did it. Have a look, go on these sites and you'll find free images you can use. Again, really helpful. Folksy, a little bit more arduous to set up. They have a couple more software glitches, not as helpful in the number of keyword tags they give you. Only get 5 per product and 5 materials with their basic offer. But I did get my first sale through them, and it was on the day that I launched on Folksy, which was amazing. Put all my products up by lunchtime, and that evening I was sat with my friend Ali looking at some of the stuff she's been doing, crafting, and my phone buzzed, and it was my first sale with Folksy. I swear to God, I began to shake like a leaf. I couldn't believe it. Suddenly, it became really real, and selling online felt really different to selling at a market. I'd done, a few Christmas markets last year, and that's how this whole thing has begun to gain momentum. But knowing that someone has gone on the internet looking for a gift of all the things out there, the plethora of products, and they typed into a search engine on Etsy, wedding gift or whatever it was, your product comes up. They like the look of it. They double click, they look at the bigger picture. And from that photo alone, they feel enough of a connection with your product and your price and how you've described it and marketed it, that they've bought it. And that's so exciting. And it couldn't have been more apt. It was a picture I've done that's called Button Luck. I do feel like it was a bit of button luck to be that quick off the mark. But off it went. I packaged it up very lovingly, carried it like one of my children to the post office and posted it. And I'm still waiting to hear that they've received it, hopefully today. But yes, so Folksy, again, you're a little bit more obvious, I think, with Folksy. You're not so lost in the mire. It's a smaller seller's world, but maybe doesn't get the amount of traffic that Etsy does, but probably more UK traffic. The other thing I've been doing is pinning, using Pinterest. And again, I'd underestimated the marketing pull or the push and pull effect of something like Pinterest. The ability to create boards. If you become a curator for a certain brand like Folksy, and you look for a theme and you create through Pinterest, so for example Folksy camping or so forth, and you create a good board, an interesting board with a good mix of products and a good mix of prices, Folksy every month go through Pinterest, look at all the boards, pick one, and they make them the ambassador of the day, as it were, on their front page. And your product and your shop is going to get, fantastic visibility. And learning how to be clever with that as well, learning how to choose who you follow, using pinning to tweet. And I think that's the other thing I've been learning through this process, is that it's a very holistic approach. Crafting world is very reliant on social media, the internet, blogging, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and you can't use any one of those exclusively. You can't sit in a pinning silo or a Twitter silo. You have to use all of them, and you have to connect all of them and use all of them together to create a following and a brand. So if you tweet, make sure it's on your Facebook feed. It's connected to Facebook, so it automatically goes on your Facebook feed. If you pin, tweet it, and so forth. And slowly, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be building a following. And then, all of the online stuff aside, I suddenly realised that I need to do some making. Christmas markets are coming thick and fast. I've booked them up. I couldn't get into Cheltenham, they're booked up for the entire year. So, lesson learnt, book in January for the whole of next year. But I'm doing some independent ones in Cheltenham and some in Gloucester, and that's exciting. But I do have to make stuff. And the other thing I learned from last year is, although I have, my core products, like my personalised baubles at Christmas and the pictures I make, the smaller little things you can make, like for example, I've been using the stamps that came with Craftseller to make little packs of gift tags with buttons and raffia. Pack of 8, £2.50. The little extras on your stall go to just add up the average transaction price. So if people are going to buy a picture, they'll pick up maybe some gift tags or a bag of homemade fudge at the same time. And it's just adding a few pounds, hopefully, each time to the transaction. That's the plan. And I've also been writing, I wrote my first article for Craftseller this month. That's nerve-wracking. And they're going to be following me as I build my business and endeavour to create a following and actually sell some stuff. And I'm pooping myself about the thought of opening the magazine and seeing my gurning face looking back at me and not being a failure. I really don't want this to muck up. I know I'm not going to, start selling hundreds of thousands of units or probably tens of units a week at this rate. And it's going to be softly, catchy monkey. But equally, I do really want it to be successful and I do really want it to work. And I'm hoping by sharing and being altruistic and sharing all my ups and downs and the good stuff and the bad stuff and what I found worked and didn't work with other people, everyone will be able to learn something from my success or failure, whichever comes first. But that's it for now. Signing out, baubles to make. See you later.